Hello guys, I hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining me. So this morning I've been out for a woodland shoot and the conditions were absolutely amazing, they really were. So in a moment we're going to be heading there. But I also wanted to answer a question actually that I've been asked a lot over the last few months, and that is why I've been using the Fuji X-H1 for my landscape photography and not my Fuji X-T3. So a little bit later as well, I'm going to answer that question, and also going to be making some changes to my system as well. So yes, we'll be going over that again in a bit. Anyway, please join me in my local woodland where conditions were just perfect. I need the step up ring off here. Need to get another step up ring. The whole idea with these magnetic filters is that you have a step up ring for every lens that you've got, but I seem to have misplaced one of my 72 adapters. Anyway, this shot, super simple, super minimalist, but yeah, really nice. Something I really enjoy actually, finding a single subject in a woodland with a very uniform backdrop. So here I've got a silver birch tree. Gotta love silver birch, especially this time of year. Beautiful golden yellow leaves with a splattering of green because they're not all turned yet, which is really nice. Then we've got this bed, if you like, of died off fern, and they're nice and brown, but they've got a dosing of this ice on them, this frost on them, which is making it look lovely. Then in front of that we've got some grasses, but beyond that we've got some pine trees and some fir trees. I think it's difficult to tell, that mist is still hanging, and yeah, it's all about the colour, the separation, the different layers, the different textures, the different colours, and this atmospheric, icy, freezing cold conditions. This is just, yeah, super minimalistic, but very symmetrical, very difficult to find in the woodland. So I'm super pumped about this shot, I really am. Really like the look of it on the back of the camera. It looks like I've framed it vertically, so I'm on about 65mm. What I tend to do when I frame it vertically is either go for a square crop or a 4x5 generally. So when I'm framing it up, this one, I'm actually including the sky, but I know I'm going to crop that out later on in post-production. I'm going to go ahead now, take this shot. 25th of a second, f6.4, because everything's pretty much on the same focal plane, ISO 200. I'll pop the self timer on, polarize the image to make it look as saturated as I can possibly make it, 'cause there's still so much mist in between myself and the subject. Polarizer's helping to cut through that mist. So let's go ahead, take this image. Absolutely wonderful. Let's go and see what else we can find. So I've tweaked my composition. I've spent about 15 minutes really trying to fine tune it. And actually moving forwards and backwards can really have a big impact on a scene, especially like one we've got here. We've got lots of trunks. Trying to separate those trunks, very difficult actually. But just by moving forwards and backwards a little bit and zooming in and zooming out can really change your field of view, so that can really help to separate the trunks. And I think I found the sweet spot for this particular scene just here. It's only a few feet away from where I were, but that's really helping just to give that bit of separation between the trunks. And the light now is just fabulous. It's soft, it's subdued, and there's a really warm glow to it, which is absolutely beautiful, and it's really adding to the rich, vibrant colours we've got here. It's just truly stunning, it really is. My thought process with this shot really is colour, texture, and the different varieties of trees that we've got. But also, there's a lot of very, very straight pines in this image, but the one on the left hand side that's quite prominent, the one in the foreground, it's got this bendy curve to it, so it's different, and that's what I'm often looking for in the woodland, something that's different. So that's very, very different to the rest of the pines we've got in the background. Because beyond where I am now, there's a plantation of pines. We've got these very straight rows, and at the back of that, there's just one vertical pine that sits right in the middle of this avenue, or this tunnel, and it kind of gives a focal point to the image, even though it's not, it's not a beautiful tree or anything. It's just one dark line, but there's light at the back there too, so it gives the viewer somewhere to look into the scene, so they know where they're meant to look. And I think what I've done is position that centrally, because there's colour on the left and the right, and I want the person that's looking at the image to look left, look right, and then go through the scene and look into the mist. Where I've positioned myself is good in terms of separation between the trunks of the trees, but one issue I do have is some of the sky is creeping into the shot. Now I don't know how distracting that's going to be. It doesn't look too bad on the camera right now. As the mist rolls through, it softens that graduation between the dark woodland and the bright sky. On a very, very bright day, it's really, really difficult to include sky, but the mistier the conditions are, the softer that transition between the woodland and the sky is. So I may decide to crop into this maybe by a 16:9 crop ratio. That's what I'm thinking at the minute, just to eliminate the sky in the top left hand corner. Anyway guys, I'm going to go ahead and take this shot now. What amazing conditions. And that's not all of the morning's shenanigans either. We're going to be heading back there in just a moment for the final shot of the morning. But first, let me just explain why I've been using the Fuji X-H1 and not the X-T3. So to record these videos, I need two cameras, my vlogging camera and my photography camera. So when I bought the X-H1, I pretty much got it, as my video camera, with the idea of using the X-T3 as my photography camera. But sadly, it just didn't really work out that way. Now, this is mainly due to the face detection autofocus built into the X-H1. Sadly, it's not in the same league as the X-T3s, and to film these vlogs, I really do rely on it a fair bit to do my pieces to camera. It's so easy with the X-T3 just to switch on the face detection and not have to worry if I'm in focus. So because the X-H1 was particularly unreliable in this area, I started using the X-T3 to film with instead. Now, when you're behind the X-H1, it really does work flawlessly, but for filming oneself, it's just not so good. The X-H1 is a lovely camera and it really does feel great to hold, so I do a lot of the B-roll in my videos because it's got the IBIS, and that really helps to eradicate camera shake and that type of thing. All in all, the systems work really well, but at times it's become a bit of a faff, having to continuously swap lenses between the two cameras. Also, walking and vlogging isn't really possible with either camera. The IBIS in the X-H1 jerks quite badly when it's moved dramatically, and the X-T3 doesn't have any IBIS at all. So, that's the reason I don't do too much walking and talking when I'm doing my vlogs. But, hopefully that's going to change in the future. I think the difference in the image quality between the two cameras for stills is pretty much negligible, I would say. The X-T3 has just got a few more pixels, but that's it really. So recently I made a change to my setup, which hopefully will help me massively with my vlogs. Now, I'm not getting rid of my X-T3 or my X-H1, but I have traded in some old gear and picked up a brand new body, which is filming me right now. So hopefully that's gonna work out well. I'll be doing some vlogs with the new setup very shortly when I've tested things out a little bit more. I've also got some massive news coming up for the channel. Yeah, some really significant changes I'm going to be making to the channel, and I've also got a side project I would like to introduce as well. I'm going to be putting an extra video out on Sunday, this Sunday, which will go over everything. So if you're watching in the future, then I'll leave a link at the top there and in the description. If not, I will see you on Sunday. Something I'm super excited about, and in truth a little bit nervous as well, but anyway, it's going to be great, and I do hope to see you on Sunday to tell you all about it. But until then, let's get back into the woodland and take the final image of this morning. Lovely. So I think this is going to be my final shot of the morning, guys. This is a path I've walked down a fair bit. It's got this line of beech trees here, and what's great about this particular location is there's a lot of beech trees, but there's a lot of space in between the trees as well. We've got this overhanging branches here which sweep over the path, and the leaves are still on the trees, but there's plenty on the floor as well. So we've got this carpet of beech leaves on the floor, which is really nice. We've still got that mist, although it is quickly evaporating, it's quickly dissipating. So yeah, I'm going to be fairly quick here and take this image. Yeah, just a quick one to finish off the day. Again, I've positioned myself so the trunks of the trees are nicely separated, and we've just got this gradual fall off in terms of depth of field. Probably going to shoot this around about f8, hundredths of a second now, and I'm hoping the light is just going to start to come through the trees and create a little bit more of a dimensional shot. So that's it for today's vlog, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. It's been an incredible morning. Really enjoyed this morning out here, this beautiful woodland, so close to me as well, this one. It's just a fantastic location. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed the images. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next week.